What's up, everyone? So I finally built my Fu-Shan during this last clan versus clan, and I have had him for a while. I've actually had him in stun gear. I used him in the arena a little bit fast. 220, 230 wasn't that crazy fast, but I used his aura for the rest of the team. When it was his turn, AoE stun plus a stun set, so it was like double chance to stun, and dishing out quite a bit of damage. I finally decided to book him. I had a bunch of books. It's clan versus clan. I needed the points. Went ahead and booked my Fu-Shan. Now that I have Fu-Shan booked, I said, you know what? I'm going to rebuild him. So I've actually just was in the process of rebuilding my Fu-Shan. I need about another 6 speed, but other than that, he's pretty much ready to go. I'm going to switch out one of his banners to tear apart Deacon. But what we are going to do today is talk about the Myth Fu clan boss team. The Fu Myth, Myth Fu, however you want to say it. So if you actually click above, right there, you'll see my previous video on the Myth Hair clan boss team. Here it is for the most part. Pretty reasonable speeds, right? Your damage dealer is at 156 going 3 to 1. I think it's 2 to 1, but pretty darn good, right? Everyone else is going 2 or 3 to 1 because of the extra turns, like on Seeker and on Deacon, but not crazy high speeds, 274. The reason this can happen is because Deacon's aura and Deacon pushes turn meter. But Deacon only puts out like 8 to 10 mil. So what we are going to do is, now that I have my Fu-Shan built, we're going to actually switch to a Myth Fu clan boss team. Now there's pros and cons to this team. One pro is that you don't need to worry about an alternative spirit boss setup. So with a Myth Hair, my damage dealer is magic, Seeker being magic. The only force affinity champion on this team is actually Harris, and she is needed to not take a stun because she needs to go ahead and give a cleanse to the stun eater. And if she gets the stun, she can't cleanse, and therefore her turn's off, and it throws the whole rhythm off. And basically it's a wipe. So what you need to do when it's on Spirit, because the Spirit boss is going to default to attack Harris, is to replace your damage dealer with a weak affinity damage dealer like a Geomancer, and just to take the stun. But that just means you're still 2-keying, right? You're not doing as much damage. The advantage to Myth Fu is Fu-Shan is force affinity. So by default, you don't need to worry about putting in a force affinity, and Fu-Shan is lead. Two things that you're taking away the stun because the boss stuns based on turn order, based on affinity weakness, then turn order, then defense and HP. So these are the things that you actually want to focus on. You want Fu-Shan to have low HP, low defense, be first in the turn order, and be force. And all of that combined will take the stun away from Harris. On top of that, Fu-Shan dishes out probably 20 mil, 15 to 20 million more damage than Deacon does. So just that alone, you're dishing out an additional 15 to 20 million. I'm currently doing about an 83 to 85 million key with a Myth Hair. Do I need to switch? No. Do I want to switch? Why not? If I can do 100 million damage, I'd be happy. Do I need an infinite team at that point? No, because quite frankly, a unkillable team does as much damage as some of the infinity teams I've seen. So why not? What's the con? Well, the con is the speeds, right? You're looking at 15 to 20 speed more on virtually every single champion of yours just to make this work. Okay? The other pro is to make it work on spirit affinity. It's actually not that difficult. Like, this is your only note. The Harris needs to be over 282.9, and the DPS needs to be less than Seeker's true speed times 7.1, whatever. It's 2 calculations. Actually, it's 1 calculation, whereas the Myth Hair Spirit, there you have it, right? Like, all of this stuff in order to make it work. It's a lot trickier, but it can work. So what we're going to do today is, once you start building, if you're going to go from Myth Air to Myth Fu, then you got to do it all at once. Now, if you want to use a Jintoro variation or a Ninja variation, the speeds are actually slightly different. And it becomes a little challenging, a little different. You can't really interchange a Ninja for a Draco for a Jintaro, although they're all magic. Affinity. Ninja has the increased turn meter on his A1. Jintaro has his passive 20% more turn meter when you increase the turn meter, which is what Seeker does. And Draco doesn't do anything with low turn meter, right? So if you have Ninja in there as your DD and you're fighting a Force Affinity boss, Ninja's going to be weak hitting. His turn meters are going to be turned off, out of sync, and it's going to be out of whack with the whole team. But you can't really take him out for somebody else because the rest of the team's numbers are very different. Okay, here's an example. 296 Demitha with Ninja. A 292 Demitha with a 261 Harris. 296 versus 265. And then the regular is 290. Right? So you're looking at an additional 6 speed on top of the 290 to 296. That's close to 300 speed. That's quite high for some people, just to get Ninja to work. And that's really only on Spirit and Magic and Void. Doesn't work on Force. Jintoro, so Pitless one is what you have to use in the clan boss calculator for Jintoro. As you could see, Jintoro still goes 2 to 1, puts out the defense and weaken, decreased defense and weaken, similar to Draco, which is why they're both good. Ninja only puts out decreased defense, so you don't have weaken when you're using Ninja, but you get that burn, and burn damage is actually quite huge. Versus the poison damage, Jintaro just does pure damage. So I would recommend putting Jintaro in a toxic set. Ninja could be done in a toxic set, to be honest, or Draco. So there you have it. This one, it would be my Draco comp. And as you can see, Fu-Shan's going twice, Draco's going twice, Seeker's going, again, 3 times, really twice, putting out that increased attack. Mytha's going to put the block up right at the end, so she's the only one going 3 times at this point, which is why she's such high speed. But you need her to block at the end, and you need Harris to put the increased speed and the cleanse right at the top. Other than that, everyone's going to go in turn. There we have it. What I'm going to do now is look at my champs, look at my gear. I'm going to just take a quick look to see how difficult is it to go from 274 to 292. I got to go find 20 speed. To me, that's an additional enchant, an additional upgrade or 2 on my pieces, on top of some max glyphs. So it's going to be a little tricky. Might have to sacrifice some damage in order to get the increased speed, but I do know that Fu-Shan is going to come in and do that additional 15 to 20 million more damage on the team overall. I was actually able to get Fu-Shan with this double speed roll in attack percent boots. So here's the set. I mean, I got the extra little bit of speed with the speed set. Pretty darn good. 24% crit rate there, another 25% there. So 50% crit rate on 2 pieces. I went with the crit rate set, which allowed me to have no crit rate in the actual chest or boots, right? So no crit rate in the chest or boots at all. And I'm able to get to 104% crit, and then I got the crit damage with a little bit of crit rate, and then some speed, and I missed out on that. I really don't care for the decreased defense, and this is actually where I'm going to replace this shield with my Deacon shield, just to lower my HP and lower my defense more, but keep everything else the same. So what I'm going to do now is take a look at the rest of the team, and we'll see what we can do. I'm not going to touch Deacon yet. I want to make sure that all my rest of my champs are going to be good to go before I start to break out Deacon, because of course if the team doesn't work, I still need a clan boss team in the morning, right? So I will walk through all the stats. I will walk through once the build is done. We're going to fast forward from here, and hopefully in the next hour or two, I can get this build done, and we can give it a shot. All right, catch you all when it's ready. At a minimum, I can do Void. I just need those 1 or 2 extra speeds on some of those pieces. In order to do it, it's going to take some swapping. I actually don't need to break up Deacon other than this shield. So here we go. We're ready to go. It's now or nothing. Got to pull the trigger, and we got to get her done. Let's do this. 185. Fu-Shan is ready. 250 crit rate or crit damage. 5200 attack. Pretty decent. Next on the list, Demitha's pretty easy. I'm actually going to swap out. I'm going to add Lysandra, so it's already +4. Not really going to touch much on that, but my weapon's only +1, so I definitely can get some added glyphs in there. And then as for my banner, I've already +6'd it. Gain a little bit of attack in there. I'm at 287. And for Harris, I need to be at... Sorry, for Mitha, I need to be at 290. So I need 3 more speed on that. I'm going to plus my weapon, and Demitha's ready to go. So air needs to actually be at 261. And I'm currently at 247. This one's going to be a little tough. But I believe I have a banner. Attack percent with speed. I've already +7'd it. So now I need to find 10 speed in the rest of this gear set. Alright, so I'm going to lose out on that crit rate for Harris. But this is a fresh piece where that way I only need to get Harris to 261. That's a +2. It's going to be a lot harder to find 10 speed on my current set than just a +2 this one. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. I'm just going to finish this piece off. Get it to 16. And then just get that speed to +2. Unfortunately, we missed the mark on that accuracy. Of all people, Harris does not need accuracy. But, you know, we're gonna get to the right speed better. Here we go. Harris is at the right speed now. So Draco needs 10 speed. He's currently at 156. I need to get him to 166. I got a fresh banner here. Doesn't have attack on it. That's the only way I can get him to do better. But fresh speed. So we can get, you know, +4 or 5 with the glyphs. I still need to find 5 speed somewhere. Accuracy, attack, crit rate, crit damage. I mean, this weapon is pretty good. To lose out on 15 accuracy at this point can work. But I need to be lucky. Okay, so we're going to go with something like this. No glyphs here, which is good. We're automatically going to get 6 speed. That's actually too much. I need to get him to 166. Actually, no, we're good. So we're going to gain that fresh glyph. So I need +4 on either the this or this. Let's see if we can get it on here. We got a ton of accuracy, which is great. I only need +4 speed. And we got lucky. One shot. Draco is done. So yeah, we're going to lose out on 172 attack. But you know what? Going from a +5 weapon to a +6 weapon doesn't make that horrible. We're also losing out at about, 11 crit damage. Our crit rate stays the same, but we're getting that speed. Again, 166, that's what we needed. Draco is done. We'll go to Demitha next. Mytha's at 287. We got to get that 3 more speed on her. +6, so that's going to be tough to do. I say +3 speed. This is probably going to be the best piece to do it. Can we get to 4? We did. Mytha is done. Seeker's last. I really thought I could get away with keeping Seeker in an attack percent boots and going with the retaliation set. These pieces are actually quite good. Triple roll on speed, double roll on speed, double crit rate, but with speed, and then a crit damage with double crit rate. This set alone is pretty darn good. I will need to find some speed either here or here, and crit rate. Double crit rate, double crit rate. I need to find speed somewhere. Let's see if I could find a banner, because we need to get Seeker to 183. And he's at 170. I need to find 13 speed. Whew. So I'm going with an attack banner, just because, as you can see, 210 attack is what I'd be losing. My current banner has attack percent and attack, so that's where the extra comes in. But I really need to find speed, right? 8 + 8 speed. I might be able to get that to 4 if I'm really lucky. 5. Can't go any higher than that, unfortunately. I don't have any 6-star glyphs no more. Let's fit this on him. What we're going to do is we're going to lose 7 crit rate, but we're actually going to get the same amount of speed. The difference is my current set, I have 0 upgrades into speed, and it's glyphed. This one is not glyphed. I'm going to lose out on that 4 crit rate, keeping my attack the way it is, but I'm able to glyph this, get my +4, and Seeker's now done. Actually, it's only +8. Let's see where we go. At this point, I kind of hope we don't get speed. I want crit rate, and that's it. Come on, crit rate. +2 attack. Missed it. All right. You know what? We're going to do this because I know Fu-Shan's going to make up the damage. What do we need? 179. I need 4 speed on here. All right, so let's go through the team build now that the teams are built. We'll start with Seeker. So Seeker needs to be 183 at the bare minimum. Seeker needs to be. This is like the lowest he can be. With 1 speed set, he's at 208.07. Okay, doing the calculation here. 715, 7.15 divided by 7.8 is 0.9166666667. And then we're going to multiply that by Seeker's true speed, which is currently 208.07, which is going to take me to 190.73. The DPS, in this case Draco, needs to be less than 190.73, which in my case is 166. Actual speed, where's Draco? He's currently at 189.78, so he's perfect for that. at 166. Draco is done. Seeker is done. Harris needs to be over 282.9. So that takes me to at least 261 on Harris. And she's at 261. Needs to be at 290 even. She's currently at 290. And then the last but not least is Fu-Shan. And Fu-Shan's at 185, where is exactly where he needs to be, 185. So, there we have it. Team is built. Masteries, I went down the typical damage into War Master with accuracy for Fu-Shan. Hair, the only reason I went down this route is to get that added HP on Hair, just to boost her up that little bit more. I didn't really care for the rest, but I also got Laura Steele just to get her that little bit more damage and speed and that sort of thing. Went down the damage tree, and War Master, of course. We don't need anything over here. It's an unkillable team, and they don't do... She counterattacks as her passive. I just got these two because, well, I needed to put my points somewhere, to be honest. So, you could save yourself some bars and only get, not get those 400 scrolls. Seeker, I was able to keep in that retaliation set. I did lose out on 4% crit damage, or crit rate rather, and a little bit of crit damage, and a little bit of attack, but I got the right speed without killing my... He's got attack percent, chest, and boots. Same with Fu-Shan's on attack percent, chest, and boots. And Draco's on attack percent, chest, and boots. All right, so now what we're going to have to do is... I do have a key. This is going to actually be difficult for me. I'm actually going to go ahead and try Spirit, just because I want to see if the stun is actually going to Hair or if it's going to Fu-Shan the way I have him built. So what we're going to do here is rebuild the clan boss team. So Fu lead. Gonna go Draco. Where's Demitha? All right, so Fu-Shan's actually going to open with the A3, so first choice. And then A2, second choice. And I don't know how this works, so I'm going to do the same for every round, just to make sure that it works. It shouldn't need to be, but why not? Draco will open with the A3 and then poison. Mitha is actually going to open with the A3. So Mitha's going to open with the A3. Seeker, we are actually going to open with the A1 and then prioritize. And then Hair will open with that A2. And this team should now be on full auto. If done correctly, I might need to boost Harris's HP up a bit, or defense up a bit. I'm hoping that Fu-Shan being in the lead takes that stun. We're going to have to wait. But here we are. The boss is actually going to drop decreased speed, which is why we had the extra calculation involved with this. We just want to make sure at this point, I already got my key in. I want to make sure that it actually works on Spirit, and this is the best place to check. Good start. Fu took the stun. Now we should be in sync. We're going to let it run for a few more turns. Let's hope that Fu-Shan keeps the stun on him. And then we're going to just let this go and see where we are by towards the end. All right, we'll catch you all towards the end. All right, so I'm going to end this key here. My next move, the boss is going to wipe me out, but 107 mil. Yeah, sure, it's brutal, but it's Spirit Boss. Harris never took a stun. Fu-Shan took every single stun, and Fu-Shan was still, weak hitting. Same with Harris. I'd be curious to know how much damage he did, actually. But after looking and comparing some of the damage, it looks like Fu-Shan has a 4-hitter A4, which also puts out the decreased defense. Looking at about 50k a hit. So that's about 200k or so, 220, 230k that A3 actually will dish out. Pretty darn good, if he doesn't, of course, weak hit. The A2 did about 60 to 70,000 damage. So we're looking at about 140k. That A1 did about the same, 140, 150k. So I'm going to try it again tomorrow. I'm going to really take a look at the damage difference between Fu-Shan's A1, A2, and figure out if it's even worth putting in the A2. Because quite frankly, it's a stun. It's a double hitter stun. It's not really needed. It's not really required. And if the A1 does just as much damage as the A2, then whatever, right? But there you have it. Pretty darn good. It worked. It worked like a charm. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead with Void Boss. And what we're going to do is just test out to make sure that on Void, Fu-Shan still takes the stun. He should, because everyone's neutral affinity, and he's in the lead. I just got to double check that if he took the stun for Spirit, and him and Harris are both weak affinity, then he should take the stun being in the lead for everything else. Force affinity, either Seeker or Draco are going to take a stun. It doesn't matter, because Harris is going to go first and cleanse it anyways. So the only thing is Harris cannot take a stun, and she will cleanse right at the beginning. Okay. Turn order wise, So turn order wise, we're looking at, as I mentioned earlier, Demitha is going to open with that A2. By default, she starts with the A3 on her AI, so we're going to force that to go with the A2 first. Harris is going to start right away with that A3. You do need to prioritize. So Harris does not use that, sorry, A3, A2. Harris does not use that skill if there's no debuffs up. Okay, so you do need to, one, prioritize that skill for it to be used right away. Fu-Shan, we can just do full auto on Fu-Shan, making sure that A3 kind of goes first. You want that A3 to go first just to get that increase defense out so that Seeker can go ahead and, get some extra damage. And then Draco's going to put the decreased defense back up and weaken before everyone else goes. Seeker, we're going to actually delay the increase with for one turn. So we're going to open with the A1. And Draco, like I said, we're going to just prioritize that A3. We could flip these. I feel like getting that weaken out right away will help the damage on everybody else before the poison goes out. And then Draco really starts to do his damage when we got lots of debuffs up. So poison, decreased defense and weaken, 4 poisons, damage. We're going to get decreased defense and weaken back out, more poisons, and that way we're going to have a full poison bar with defense and weaken, and that's it. And then Draco's doing max damage, which in this case was about 350,000 on the A1, 250,000 on a reflect or a counterattack. So there you have it. Hopefully that helps. I know this was a relatively long video. Again, a couple hours of work. We're gonna, cut that all out, all that work. A lot of talk, a lot of kind of idea of how it's supposed to work. At the end of the day, I'm gonna put the link below on this specific build, Deadwood Jedi's website. Of course, not taking any credit. Use what's there. Okay. Why not? Right? We got some really big brains, some really smart people putting this stuff together. All we really need to do is follow along. And as long as you have these champions, you can make it work as well. Catch you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.